When you were 7 years old, summer lasted forever. You remember that. Not the details, not what you ate or what shoes you wore, but that feeling. June stretched out ahead of you like an ocean. Every single day had weight to it. You could live an entire life between breakfast and dinner. Now you're an adult, and somehow yesterday was March, and right now it's already June. You blinked, and an entire season vanished. Whole months dissolve before you even register they've started. Everybody keeps saying it. Where did the time go? The time didn't go anywhere. Your brain did. And by the end of this, you'll understand exactly why, including one explanation almost nobody expects. So stick around for that one. The most common explanation people give is mathematical. It's called the proportional theory. When you're 5 years old, 1 year is 20% of your entire existence. That's massive. A single summer at that age is a huge chunk of everything you've ever experienced. But when you're 50, 1 year is just 2% of your life. So each year should feel smaller against the growing total behind it. And there's some truth to that. A year does mean more when you haven't lived many of them. But the theory collapses the moment you push on it. If you plot it out, 1 year as a percentage of your life at every age, you find that by age 6, half of your entire subjective life is already gone, before you can even read. And no 6-year-old on Earth walks around feeling like the best part is behind them. The proportional theory treats your brain like a calculator running simple division. But your brain doesn't do math with time. It does something far more interesting. One leading theory says your brain runs on an internal clock, a timing mechanism built from the firing rate of your neurons, the speed at which signals travel through your nervous system. And researchers who study this suggest that firing rate peaks in childhood, then slowly declines year after year for the rest of your life. When you were young, your neurons fired rapidly. Your brain captured more snapshots of the world per second, more data packed into every passing moment. So each second felt fuller, heavier, longer. As you age, the theory goes, that clock slows. Your neurons fire less often. The same hour passes, but your brain captures fewer moments inside it. The world hasn't sped up. Your sampling rate has dropped. In 2019, Adrian Bejan, a professor at Duke University, offered a physics-based version of this idea. He argued that as we age, the pathways those signals travel become longer and more complex, so each impulse takes slightly longer to arrive. An older brain processes fewer mental images per second. The world keeps moving at the same pace. The brain just samples less of it every year. You didn't lose the time. Your brain stopped capturing all of it. But the slowing clock is only half the story. There's a second mechanism stacked on top of it, and this one changes how much of your life you actually remember. When you were a child, almost everything was brand new. The first time you saw the ocean, the first time you tasted something you couldn't name, the first time the ceiling looked wrong in the dark at someone else's house. And when your brain meets something genuinely unfamiliar, it doesn't coast. It lights up, fires across the cortex, and encodes a detailed, high-resolution memory. That takes enormous energy. A young child's brain can burn close to half, by some estimates even more, of the body's resting energy, just making sense of a world it has never seen. Here's why that matters. Your brain has a second way of judging how long something lasted. It counts memories. The more detail it's stored, the longer that stretch of time feels in hindsight. Researchers have tested this directly. Show someone a run of identical images, then one new, unexpected image, and they'll swear the new one stayed on screen longer. It didn't. Their brain just invested more in the unfamiliar one. Fear does the same at full scale. Skydivers and people in car accidents routinely judge those seconds as lasting far longer because adrenaline makes the brain record at maximum resolution. Time didn't slow. The brain simply wrote down everything. So think about what that means. When you were a kid, both systems worked in your favor. The clock ran fast, and novelty flooded your memory. Time felt long while you lived it, and long when you looked back. That's why one summer at age 8 can feel longer than your entire 27th year. Now look at your life today. Same route, same places, same conversations. Your clock has slowed, so each moment already feels thinner, and your brain recognizes almost everything, so it stops recording. Monday to Friday becomes a smear. A month becomes nothing really happened. A year becomes I don't know where that went. And buried in here is a trade-off nobody warns you about. Think of your last great holiday. It flew by, yet in memory it feels long, because every day was different. Now think of a boring Tuesday at work. It dragged for hours, yet a week later it's gone. The moments that feel longest while you live them leave the shortest memories, and the ones that vanish fastest leave the deepest marks. A life of comfort feels easy day to day, but disappears in memory. A life of novelty flies by in the moment, but stretches out enormously when you look back. You can't have both, and you're choosing right now. The clock on the wall has never once changed speed. The one inside your head has been slowing since the day you were born, and the world stopped surprising you a long time ago. So here's the only thing that actually slows it down, the thing your brain has been asking you for since you were a child. Go somewhere new. Do something unfamiliar. Give your brain a reason to start recording again, because the goal was never more time. It's more life inside the time you already have.